important was your experience in documentary for your later features? Do you advise people to try their hand at documentary?
What documentaries taught me, the way I ended up doing them, was that, how do we turn reality into, not just record it, how do we turn it into a kind of metaphor, How can we make it mean more than it just is, more than is obvious, But it gave me the courage to think on my feet and to respond. Am I liking it? Am I not is it working? Let's not, because so many films I watch, including my own, where you think, how could you not see that this is not working? Just because it was in the script, you had to shoot it. I don't mean just a shot or a scene. Well, what I tried to do with my documentaries, I didn't intellectually set out to do it, but I kind of see that I'm doing it anyway, instinctively, is to go against the grain, to go against the kind of accepted journalist story of the thing.
This here is my nephew, Crown Prince Alexander, with his family, with his wife, and other members of my family here. Now, you may think that this is a cheap and a gimmick. It isn't. It's a very expensive way of doing the paintings, which I personally think they're very good indeed, because it actually shows the depth behind the dynasty.
And it helps you to edit elliptically as well, so you don't edit for story always. Well, some people do, but I was just trying to be a bit more elliptical, poetic in these documentaries. And I've taken that method over to my feature films, where I kind of write some kind of a script. I mean, the story is the story, but the script is a kind of means to an end, mainly the end of raising the finance.
How did you begin to work with actors, and how do you work with actors? Has your technique evolved over time?
I don't want to nail anything down before shooting, but I definitely want to spend time with them and put them in that territory, so they really live the film and take no other jobs while they're doing it, so they really have to be living the film with me. Most of my directing, apart from the prep and just kind of getting deeper and deeper into the character and getting some period details internalized, but a lot of it was just sculpting her performance, because she's an actress who gives a lot, and sometimes all you need to do is just kind of like less here, maybe here a little bit.
Jak to z tym ojcem było?
Z którym ojcem?
Z twoim ojcem.
A co miało być?
Za co siedziałaś?
Pomylił mnie z matką, to mu pokazałam różnicę nożem. Przeżył, pan się nie boi.
Do you tend to shoot a lot from different possibilities and then decide in the editing room, or do you go to the set pretty much with an idea of what you know the film will look like?
With Ida, I kind of stripped everything down. I knew it's going to be static. I knew it's going to be about for the last two shots. And I knew it was going to be square, and I knew a lot had to happen from one angle in one shot. So it wasn't all fixed how it's going to look exactly, but the strategy was there, to shoot it from one angle, frame it in a certain way, and let the actors breathe in that shot. So I got access to the bits that really interested me, that were rich, that had texture, that had layers, and that could be told visually and and musically. You really don't have to spell the whole thing out, that people, especially when it comes to love, people can project themselves into this kind of thing. It's a learning process, what you don't need in a film, and with each film I kind of know more what I don't really need.
Can you give us a bit of insight as to how you approach composition, mise-en-scène, and how you approach blocking and that sort of stuff?
Generally, I try to make it interesting, I try to avoid the tired schemes which always get me depressed. For me, it's kind of fun to unsettle the audience, or to also connect the character with background, with what's behind them. Also to make it an image, rather than just an information that somebody's talking, and having their face. How do you actually make it a memorable image, all the time?